Beloved chosen one, listen carefully. This is not a coincidence. This is not an algorithmic accident. Heaven has slowed everything down around you so you can hear this clearly. You are standing at the edge of a moment that has been forming for years. And tomorrow is not just another day on the calendar. Tomorrow is a spiritual deadline. Something ends because of what you have done, because of what you refuse to do, because of the line you would not cross even when it cost you comfort, approval, and peace. You did not arrive here by chance. You were led. You have always felt it, that sense that time bends differently around you, that your life carries a weight others do not seem to feel. You tried to explain it away. You told yourself you were overthinking. But deep down, you knew. You knew you were marked. You knew you were chosen. You knew your obedience mattered more than you understood at the time. And now, the pressure you've been feeling, the tightening in your spirit, that is not anxiety, that is transition. Heaven paused because of you. There were moments when it would have been easier to give up, to compromise, to become colder, harder, more like the world that kept disappointing you. You were tempted to strike back, to defend yourself, to take shortcuts. You were provoked, you were pushed, you were misunderstood on purpose, and still you held back. You stayed quiet when your flesh wanted to scream. You walked away when revenge would have felt justified. Don't minimize that. Don't downplay it. In the spirit realm, restraint is louder than rebellion. This message finds you because a cycle is closing. Not slowly, not someday, but decisively. What ends tomorrow is not your life, not your calling, not your future. What ends is permission. The enemy's permission to delay you. The system's permission to drain you. The season's permission to keep testing the same wound over and over again. You passed a test you didn't even know you were taking. You see, chosen one. Heaven watches patterns, not performances. God does not look for perfection, He looks for posture. And your posture when no one was clapping, when no one was watching, was obedience. Silent obedience, costly obedience, obedience that bled. That kind of obedience triggers endings. It closes doors permanently. It shifts timelines. It forces divine intervention. You may be asking yourself why everything feels so intense right now. Why old memories are surfacing. Why certain people are acting strangely. Why conversations feel final. Why your spirit won't let you settle. It's because endings announce themselves before they arrive. The spirit knows before the mind catches up. You are sensing the last tremors of something that is about to collapse behind you. And don't be fooled, what collapses is not always evil looking. Sometimes it's familiar. Sometimes it's comfortable. Sometimes it's a version of yourself that survived, but was never meant to reign. Tomorrow draws a line between who you had to be to survive and who you are called to be to lead. You didn't just pray. You aligned. You didn't just wait. You endured. You didn't just hope. You obeyed when it hurt. And heaven responded. There is a reason resistance increased right before now. There is a reason distractions multiplied. There is a reason old temptations tried to re-enter your life. That was not random. That was a last attempt to pull you back before the door shut. But you held your ground. And because you did, the outcome is no longer negotiable. The ancient words recorded for us in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, still echo today. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. This is not comfort language. This is a verdict. Fear is not your signal, it is your warning. Power is your inheritance. Love is your authority. And a sound mind is how you walk through endings without breaking. If fear is rising around you, it is because it no longer has permission to live inside you. Hear this clearly: endings are not punishments for the chosen, they are promotions disguised as loss. When God ends something, He does not ask permission from what benefited from your delay. He does not negotiate with what fed on your confusion. He ends it because your next level requires less noise, less weight, less access to you. Tomorrow is not about what you gain. It's about what loses access to you forever. That is why this feels heavy. Finality always does. But heaviness is not danger, it's gravity. And gravity only matters when something is about to lift. You are not behind. You are not late. You are precisely on time, standing at the exact moment heaven scheduled long before you understood the assignment. Don't do it, no matter the price, and don't step backward now. Don't doubt what you already discerned, and this is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. If this message is resonating in your spirit, do not scroll past it. Mark this moment. As an act of alignment, like this message, share it with someone who needs confirmation. And subscribe so you remain connected to what is unfolding. And as a prophetic declaration at the end of this moment, comment the number 77, a sign that you recognize the end of fear and the activation of power. You are not imagining this. Heaven paused because of you. Chosen one, what you endured was not wasted. Not a single night you cried yourself to sleep. Not a single moment you questioned your worth. Not one season where you felt overlooked, delayed, or pushed to the side. You were never abandoned, you were being prepared. And preparation rarely feels holy while it's happening. Most of the time, it feels unfair. You were asked to carry weight that others never had to touch. You were expected to stay strong without being celebrated. You were required to stay faithful without receiving reassurance. And there were days when you wondered if obedience was costing you more than it was giving you. But heaven was watching closely, counting every act of restraint, every time you chose humility over pride, patience over reaction, faith over escape. The pain you survived was not random, it was specific, targeted, tailored. You weren't just being tested, you were being trained. God does not refine what He does not plan to use. Fire is never punishment for gold, it is proof of value. And you, chosen one, were placed in heat because of what you are made of. There were people who could walk away from situations and feel nothing. You were not one of them. You felt everything deeply. The betrayal cut you to the bone. The silence haunted you. The waiting stretched you thin. But that sensitivity was never weakness. It was evidence of spiritual capacity. You were built to carry more, to discern more, to love deeper, to see clearer. And because of that, the process had to go deeper too. You often wondered why others seemed to advance faster while you stayed stuck. Why shortcuts seemed to work for them but not for you. Why compromise brought them rewards while obedience brought you delay. What you couldn't see then is that delay was mercy. God was protecting you from arriving too early with the wrong foundation. He was shielding you from platforms that would have crushed you before you were rooted. Every no you received was shaping discernment. Every closed door was strengthening your inner hearing. Every lonely stretch was stripping away dependencies you didn't even know you had. You learned how to stand without applause. You learned how to pray without answers. You learned how to keep going without validation. Those lessons cannot be taught quickly, and they cannot be skipped. There were moments when bitterness tried to grow in you, when resentment whispered that you deserved better treatment, when anger suggested you were foolish for staying kind, but you resisted. Even when your heart was tired, you did not allow it to harden. That decision alone altered your future. Many lose their calling not through sin but through cynicism. You refused that path. You see, endurance is not passive, it is active warfare. Every time you stayed faithful while misunderstood, something in the unseen shifted. Every time you forgave without being asked, chains fell that you may never witness. Heaven counts endurance as strength, not weakness. And strength is always rewarded, even if the reward is delayed. You may still carry questions. Why did it take so long? Why did it hurt so much? Why did God allow certain people to wound you repeatedly? The answer is not cruelty. It is capacity. What you are about to carry requires depth. Superficial preparation would have produced shallow authority. But God is raising you to stand, not just to succeed. The season you are leaving trained you to hear God's voice over noise. It trained you to discern truth without consensus. It trained you to trust divine timing instead of human urgency. You learned to move when God said move, and to stay when God said stay, even when staying felt like dying slowly. That obedience rewired you. You are not the same person who entered that season. You see clearer now. You speak differently. You notice energy shifts. You recognize patterns. You can sense when something is off without needing proof. That wisdom was earned through suffering. And wisdom, once earned, cannot be taken away. There were prayers you prayed that seemed to go unanswered. In reality, they were answered in ways you didn't recognize yet. You asked for peace, and God removed what disrupted it. You asked for strength, and God allowed resistance. You asked for elevation, and God first built your foundation underground. Seeds do not grow in sunlight, they grow in darkness first. The ancient words recorded in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. Speak directly into your journey, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. Notice the words all things, not just the victories, not just the breakthroughs, but the delays, the losses, the misunderstandings, the seasons where nothing made sense. God did not waste them. He wove them. He stitched pain into purpose and confusion into clarity. And now, the picture is almost complete. You were never meant to stay in survival mode. That was temporary. What you learned there will serve you, but it will not define you. The version of you that endured was necessary, but it is not the final form. Tomorrow does not erase your past, it redeems it. It proves that nothing you went through was meaningless. What comes next requires the maturity you gained, the humility you practiced, and the discernment you developed. Without those trials, you would have arrived too raw, too reactive, too dependent on approval. Now, you are steady, grounded, aware. The weight you carried strengthened muscles you didn't know you had. And now, as one chapter closes, you are not stepping forward empty-handed. You are carrying wisdom, authority, and spiritual depth forged through endurance. What you endured was not wasted, it was invested. And the return is about to be revealed. Chosen one. This section is about the line you refuse to cross. Not the obvious lines, the ones everyone agrees on, but the quiet line inside you. The one no one would have known if you had crossed it. The moment where compromise whispered, "No one will see." The moment where anger justified itself. The moment where despair tried to convince you that obedience was optional. That was the real battlefield, and you won it. You were not perfect. You were pressured. You were tired. You were provoked. And still, you stopped yourself. You paused. You chose restraint over release. That single pause mattered more than you realize. Heaven does not measure your life by dramatic moments alone. It measures the private decisions that shape who you become when no one is watching. There were opportunities placed in front of you that looked like answers to prayer, but your spirit felt uneasy. They would have accelerated your life, but at the cost of alignment. You felt the tension take the shortcut and escape the pain, or stay the course and endure longer. Many would have justified crossing that line. Few would have noticed, but you noticed. And that is why everything changed. You see, not all rebellion looks evil. Sometimes it looks efficient. Sometimes it looks practical. Sometimes it looks like survival. But you sensed that something wasn't right, even when logic told you it was harmless. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is discernment. And discernment is expensive. It often costs you what others get easily. You were tempted to respond the way you were treated, to mirror disrespect, to repay manipulation with manipulation, to harden your heart so you wouldn't feel the ache anymore. But something inside you said no. Not loudly, not dramatically, just firmly. That quiet no echoed louder in the spirit realm than any shout ever could. The line you refused to cross protected your future self. If you had crossed it, you might have gained relief but lost authority. You might have felt justified but forfeited clarity. You might have escaped discomfort only to inherit confusion. God was not restricting you, He was preserving you. There were days when holding back felt like losing, like you were letting others win, like silence was surrender. But silence, when chosen in obedience, is not weakness. It is strength under control. And strength under control is power. That power is now being activated. You may not have realized it at the time, but that decision rewrote your timeline. It delayed certain outcomes so better ones could form. It blocked doors that would have led to regret. It rerouted you away from relationships that would have drained your calling. You didn't just avoid sin, you avoided entanglement. Some people never recover from the lines they cross in desperation. They survive, but they carry fractures in their spirit. You were spared that fracture. Your integrity remained intact. And integrity is the foundation God builds upon when He entrusts someone with more. The restraint you practiced trained you to govern yourself. And self-governance always comes before divine elevation. If you cannot rule your reactions, you cannot steward influence. God saw that you could be trusted with pressure without becoming reckless. That is rare. That is why this moment is rare. You might still replay that decision in your mind, wondering if it really mattered. Let heaven answer that for you, according to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs. Chapter 16, verse 32. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. That verse reframes everything. The world celebrates conquest. Heaven celebrates control. You ruled your spirit when you could have taken a city of temporary satisfaction. That choice marked you. It distinguished you. It separated you from those who act first and regret later. Understand this clearly: the enemy was not trying to make you fail loudly. He was trying to make you bend quietly, to justify one small step off alignment, because small steps, repeated, changed destinations, but you stopped yourself. You stayed aligned. And because of that, what was meant to derail you now serves as evidence of your readiness. There is a confidence forming in you now, not arrogance, but grounded assurance. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer need to react to every provocation. You know who you are becoming. And when you know that, temptation loses its urgency. This section is about honor, not public honor, but internal honor. The kind that lets you look at yourself without flinching. The kind that allows God to trust you with endings and beginnings. You honored God when it cost you, and God never forgets that. As this truth settles into you, you may feel a quiet strength rising. That strength comes from knowing you stood firm when it mattered. To seal this understanding, make a simple declaration not for others, but for alignment within yourself. At the end of this section, comment, "I stand firm." This is not a slogan, it is a confession. It acknowledges that you chose restraint over reaction, obedience over impulse, and alignment over relief. Writing it is a way of agreeing with what God already saw in you before anyone else did. You did not cross the line. And because you didn't, the next door opens without contamination, without regret, without compromise. Chosen one, this is the moment where understanding must turn into practice. Knowledge without obedience only creates frustration, but wisdom applied creates transformation. What is happening now requires a mature response, not an emotional one. You are no longer praying the prayers of survival. You are stepping into the prayers of someone who has been formed by grace, disciplined by delay, and refined by endurance. This section is about how you stand when mercy begins to step back, not because God is cruel, but because God is honoring your growth. There comes a point in every chosen life where God no longer intervenes the same way He used to. Not because He has left, but because you are no longer a child in the Spirit. A mature son or daughter is trusted with responsibility, not rescue. When mercy steps back, consequences step forward. This is not punishment, it is alignment. You are now in a season where your prayers must shift from "Lord, save me from this" to "Lord, shape me through this." That shift marks spiritual adulthood. So here is the first instruction: pray without bargaining. Do not approach God listing your sacrifices. Do not remind Him of what you endured. Do not negotiate outcomes. A mature prayer sounds like surrender, not leverage. You say, "Father, I trust your judgment more than my preferences. Even if the outcome is uncomfortable, let it be correct." That kind of prayer releases peace even before answers come. Second instruction: pray with accountability. A prayer of grace is not passive. It owns responsibility. Instead of asking God why others failed you, ask Him what He is teaching you. Instead of asking Him to change people, ask Him to change your posture. This is not self-blame, it is self-governance. Grace matures you to the point where you stop needing villains to justify your growth. Third instruction: pray with clarity, not panic. Panic-driven prayers are loud but unfocused. Mature prayers are quiet but precise. You do not need to repeat yourself to be heard. You need alignment, not volume. Sit with God long enough for your emotions to settle before you speak. Let your spirit lead, not your anxiety. There is a reason you are being asked to slow down internally while life accelerates externally. God is training you to remain centered while things shift around you. That stability is required for what comes next. If you cannot remain anchored when mercy steps back, you will misinterpret discipline as abandonment. But you are not abandoned, you are entrusted. Fourth instruction: pray for discernment, not comfort. Comfort fades. Discernment protects. Ask God to show you what is ending, not just what hurts. Ask Him to reveal what you must release willingly so it does not have to be removed forcefully. Mature grace cooperates with endings instead of resisting them. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Stillness here does not mean passivity. It means restraint. It means you stop interfering with what God is resolving. You stop defending yourself. You stop trying to control narratives. You stop forcing timelines. Stillness is the discipline of trusting God to handle what you no longer need to touch. Now listen carefully when mercy steps back. Your obedience becomes louder than your prayers. This is where many fail, not through rebellion, but through impatience. They pray correctly but act prematurely. You are being called to let your actions agree with your words. Practice this before making decisions. Ask yourself, does this align with who I am becoming or who I am trying to escape? That single question will save you years. This section also asks something gentle but important of you. If this message is helping you grow not just emotionally, but spiritually, consider supporting its reach, not because of obligation, but because truth multiplies when it is shared. A simple like helps this message reach others who are standing where you once stood. Sharing it may become an answer to someone else's prayer. And subscribing keeps you connected to guidance meant for seasons ahead. This is not about numbers, and it is about stewardship. When something feeds you, you help feed others. Return now to prayer not rushed, not dramatic, but grounded. Pray like someone who knows God is near even when he is quiet. Pray like someone who understands that grace is not the absence of consequences, but the presence of God within them. Say this in your own words, Father. I receive this season without fear. I do not ask you to remove what you are using. I ask you to refine me without breaking me. Teach me how to stand when mercy steps back, and how to walk forward without resentment. I trust your timing, your judgment, and your hand. This is the prayer of someone who has grown, someone heaven can trust with endings and beginnings. Someone who no longer needs constant reassurance to remain faithful. You are not losing covering. You are gaining authority. You are not being abandoned. You are being promoted, and you are not unprepared. You are ready. Let the practice begin here. Chosen one. This section reveals a truth many overlook sometimes. Salvation does not arrive suddenly, it is built slowly, in obedience that looks unreasonable for years. To understand what is ending for you and what is being released, you must look at the story of Noah, not as a children's tale, but as a blueprint for mature faith. Noah was not chosen because he was loud, popular, or impressive. He was chosen because he was obedient over time. Scripture tells us the world around him was violent, corrupt, and dismissive of God. Yet Noah walked differently. He listened when no one else did, and that alone separated him. When God spoke to Noah, he did not offer an immediate escape. He did not remove Noah from the corrupted world overnight. Instead, he gave Noah instructions detailed, specific, demanding instructions to build an ark, not in secret, not quickly, but publicly. Over many years, while nothing around him supported the message he carried. Imagine the weight of that assignment, day after day. Noah cut wood under a clear sky, no rain, no flood, just obedience. People mocked him, questioned him, labeled him foolish. Yet Noah did not argue. He did not try to convince. He simply kept building. This is where many fail. They want obedience to be validated quickly. They want signs before commitment. They want confirmation before endurance. Noah had none of that. He had only the word of God and the discipline to trust it longer than logic allowed. You see yourself in Noah's story, even if you didn't have language for it. The years you spent obeying without visible reward. The seasons where your faith looked impractical. The quiet construction of character while others were enjoying immediate gratification. You were building something while the world laughed. The ark did not look like salvation while it was being built. It looked like isolation. It looked like delay. It looked like wasted effort. But when the rain finally came, the ark was no longer strange, it was the only place of safety. That is the revelation for you now. What you built in obedience is about to make sense. The flood did not create the ark's power. The years of obedience did. By the time the rain started, it was already too late to begin building. Preparation always comes before crisis. And Noah was prepared because he did not wait for urgency to obey. There is a reason your process felt long. There is a reason God did not rush you. You were not being delayed, you were being sealed. Every plank Noah placed strengthened the structure that would carry not just him, but generations after him. Your obedience was never only about you. When the rain came, something else happened that many overlook. God himself shut the door of the ark. Noah did not close it. This matters. It means Noah was not responsible for deciding who entered and who stayed out. His role was obedience. God handled the separation. This is critical for you to understand in this season. As cycles end, as separation increases, you are not called to judge, argue, or explain. You are called to stay aligned. God will close doors you are no longer meant to manage. Some relationships will not survive this transition not because you are wrong, but because the season has changed. The book of Genesis records this moment with sobering clarity. It is written in the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 22. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. That single sentence explains why Noah survived when others did not. Not brilliance, not strength, not speed. Obedience, complete obedience, over time. Genesis chapters 6 and 7 reveal that when the flood finally came, it came suddenly. What took years to prepare for unfolded quickly. The rain fell, the waters rose, and what was once mocked became the only refuge. This is how spiritual endings work. Long obedience, sudden shift. You are standing at the edge of a similar moment. What God asked you to build internally and externally required patience, discipline, faith without applause. And now, the season is turning. What protected you in private will preserve you in public. Understand this, Noah was not spared because he was better than others. He was spared because he was aligned. Alignment always attracts protection, not exemption from difficulty, but preservation through it. You may have wondered why God allowed you to keep building when nothing seemed to change. Why he didn't stop the mockery sooner. Why the rain waited. It's because obedience matures faith. Instant rescue produces shallow roots. Long obedience produces unshakable trust. Now the rain is symbolic here not just of judgment, but of transition. What worked before will no longer work for many. Systems will fail, foundations will be tested, and what remains will be what was built on obedience. Like Noah, you were not asked to convince the world. You were asked to obey God. And because you did, there is a place prepared for you not because you earned it, but because you trusted him long enough to finish what he told you to start. As this truth settles, there is a response not emotional, but prophetic. At the end of this section, comment the number 999. This number represents the closing of a long cycle and the completion of obedience before transition. It is not superstition. It is a marker, a way of acknowledging that you recognize the season that is ending and the salvation that was built quietly over time. You were building while others were laughing. You were obeying while others were doubting. And now, what you built is about to carry you forward. The ark was never about escaping the world. It was about surviving the transition. Chosen one, separation always comes before elevation. This is not a punishment, and it is not rejection. It is alignment. What you are experiencing now, the quiet distancing, the sudden disinterest, the unexplained endings is not loss. It is precision. God is refining your environment because your next assignment cannot survive unnecessary weight. There are people who were essential to your survival season but are not qualified for your elevation season. They helped you cope, but they cannot help you lead. They walked with you when you were learning endurance, but they are uncomfortable with the authority that endurance produces. This does not make them evil. It makes them incompatible with what comes next. Separation is rarely dramatic. Most of the time, it is subtle. Conversations become shallow. Energy no longer flows. You feel misunderstood without conflict. This is how God gently loosens attachments without tearing you apart. Forced separation creates wounds. Divine separation creates clarity. You may have noticed that you no longer explain yourself the way you used to. You no longer chase understanding. You no longer need agreement to feel secure. That is growth. When God elevates someone, He first reduces their dependency on external validation. Influence requires inner stability. This is also why certain doors are closing without explanation. Not every ending needs closure. Some things are removed because explanation would only pull you backward. God protects you from revisiting what He has already resolved. In past seasons, you tolerated behavior that drained you because you were still learning your worth. You made room for inconsistency. You excused disrespect. You minimized your own discernment to keep peace. But peace that costs you alignment is not peace, it is delay. And delay is no longer permitted. Elevation demands discernment, not suspicion, but clarity. You now recognize who celebrates your growth and who feels threatened by it, who draws strength from your presence and who only consumes it. This awareness is not arrogance, it is stewardship. Some people benefited from your patience but resented your progress. They were comfortable with you when you were quiet, accommodating, and unsure. But now that you move with certainty, their access diminishes naturally. You did not change for the worse. You matured. This is the season where God reduces noise, not because silence is the goal, but because clarity requires space. Elevation without separation produces confusion. God removes distractions so you can hear Him more clearly and respond more precisely. You might feel moments of loneliness, but this is not abandonment. It is recalibration. Eagles do not fly in flocks because altitude requires focus. You are being lifted into a space where crowd approval is irrelevant. What matters now is obedience and accuracy. There is also a warning hidden in this season. Do not try to carry people into places they refuse to grow into. Noah did not drag anyone into the ark. Abraham did not take everyone up the mountain. Jesus Himself released those who could not receive the next teaching. Love does not mean forcing access. Let go without resentment. Bless without attachment. Move forward without dragging emotional weight behind you. Elevation requires free hands. The temptation in separation is to look back and question yourself, to wonder if you were too firm, too distant, too decisive. But obedience often looks harsh to those who benefit from your delay. Trust the peace that followed the decision. Peace is confirmation. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming clear. You are not withdrawing, or you are being positioned. You are not losing people. You are losing interference. This season also reveals who is assigned to your next chapter. These connections will feel different. Less draining, more mutual. Less explanation, more understanding. They will not need you to shrink to feel secure. They will not compete with your calling. They will recognize you without needing access to your past. Separation protects what God is building through you. Without it, elevation would expose you to sabotage not intentional but inevitable. Not everyone who loves you knows how to steward what you carry. The words spoken through the prophet Jeremiah speak directly to this moment. As the Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 19. If you separate the precious from the vile, You shall be as my mouth. This verse is not about judgment of people. It is about discernment of alignment. God entrusts His voice to those who can distinguish what belongs from what distracts. Separation sharpens that discernment. It tunes your ear. It clarifies your purpose. You are entering a phase where your words carry weight, where your decisions ripple outward, where your presence shifts atmospheres. That level of influence cannot coexist with unchecked access. God guards His instruments. Do not rush to replace what is leaving. Empty space is not failure, it is preparation. God often clears space before He fills it. He removes familiar noise so new instruction can land without distortion. What feels like isolation is actually insulation. God is insulating you from interference while He completes the work He began. When elevation comes, it will come clean, without confusion, without divided loyalties, without regret. You are not being reduced. You are being refined. You are not forgotten. You are being focused. And you are not alone. You are being led. Let the separation do its work. Do not resist it. Do not romanticize what God has already removed. What is ahead requires clarity, courage, and clean alignment. Elevation is closer than it feels, and separation is the proof that you are ready for it. Chosen one, you arrive here knowing something irreversible has happened. The night behind you did not just pass, it closed, and the morning ahead is not symbolic, it is decisive. After the end comes the crown, not as decoration but as responsibility. Crowns are weight before they are glory, and you are ready to carry it. You feel the stillness differently now. It is not emptiness, it is authority settling. Where chaos once tried to provoke reaction, there is restraint. Where confusion once demanded answers, there is clarity. You are not waiting for permission anymore. You are walking in alignment. That is how endings finalize quietly, firmly, without negotiation. The crown you step toward is not the reward of ambition. It is the recognition of endurance. You did not seize it. You were prepared for it. Every refusal to compromise, every year of obedience without applause, every separation that cost you comfort, these were fittings. God does not place crowns on unprepared heads. He trains neck and spine first, so the weight does not break you. This is why your confidence now feels calm, not loud. You do not need to announce who you are becoming. Your posture does it for you. You are not chasing influence. Influence is finding you. You are not defending your decisions. Peace is defending them. This is the mark of someone crowned by process, not ego. There is a reason the past no longer has the same pull. Nostalgia loses power when purpose sharpens. You can bless what was without returning to it. You can honor lessons without reopening wounds. That freedom is part of the crown. It allows you to move forward without dragging old identities behind you. You may notice people responding to you differently. Some will approach with respect they didn't show before. Others will grow distant without explanation. Neither response should move you. Crowns change dynamics, not because you demand it, but because alignment exposes intention. Your task is not to manage reactions, only to steward what you've been given. The crown also brings visibility, not fame, but responsibility. Your words will land heavier. Your decisions will ripple further. That is why humility remains essential. Humility does not mean shrinking. It means staying submitted to God even when others submit to you. The crowned remain teachable. The fallen stop listening. Remember, these crowns are maintained the same way they are received, through obedience. Not dramatic obedience, but daily faithfulness. The same quiet discipline that carried you through endings will keep you steady in beginnings. Do not abandon the practices that formed you just because the season has shifted. As you stand at this threshold, heaven affirms what you already sense. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 25, verse 21, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things." This declaration is not about applause, it is about trust. Rulership follows faithfulness. Expansion follows stewardship. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into entrusted order. The crown rests because you learned how to be faithful when it was heavy and unseen. There will be new challenges, yes, but not the kind that strip you. These will stretch you without breaking you. You will recognize the difference immediately. Old battles attacked your identity. New ones refine your capacity. Old seasons asked if you would survive. New seasons ask if you will lead. And leadership begins with presence, being fully where you are, not rushing outcomes, not forcing doors, not revisiting what God has closed. The crowned move deliberately. They listen longer. They speak less, but with precision. They understand that timing is a language God speaks fluently. If this message has walked with you through the closing of a chapter, consider letting it walk with others too. Not out of obligation, but out of overflow. A gentle like helps this truth reach those standing at the same threshold you just crossed. Sharing it may become confirmation for someone still wrestling with an ending, and subscribing keeps you connected to guidance meant for the responsibilities ahead. Community matters more when the crown arrives, not less. Do not rush to prove anything. The crown does not need defense. It needs stewardship. Guard your peace. Protect your focus. Keep your inner life clean. These are not small disciplines, they are crown keepers. You are not becoming someone else. You are becoming fully yourself. The version that endured is giving way to the version that governs. And governance begins within thoughts aligned, emotions submitted, actions measured. Stand tall, chosen one, not in pride, but in purpose. The night is over, Stubatola. The end has done its work. And what rests upon you now is not a burden, it is an assignment you were shaped to carry. The crown fits because you were formed for it. You do not need to rush away from this moment. Let it settle. Some endings do not announce themselves with noise or finality. They arrive quietly, like a door closing behind you while you are already walking forward. You do not hear the click at first. You only notice, later, that the draft is gone. The pull is gone. The ache to return is gone. That is how you know something has truly ended. What you are stepping into does not need labels yet. It does not need explanation. It does not even need confidence. It only needs presence. Stay here aware, grounded, attentive. The next steps will reveal themselves in motion, not in overthinking. You may still feel echoes of the old season. That does not mean it still owns you. Echoes fade when you stop answering them. You are allowed to move forward without having every detail resolved. Closure is not always something you receive. Sometimes it is something you decide. There is no pressure now, no countdown, no command, just space. Space to breathe differently. Space to listen more carefully. Space to notice how your inner world feels calmer, steadier, less reactive. That calm is not emptiness, it is readiness. You do not owe anyone a performance of transformation. You do not have to prove growth by announcing it. The truest changes are the ones others feel before they can explain why. Let your life speak at its own pace. If you choose to carry this message with you, do so gently. If you feel moved to pass it along, to like it, to share it with someone who might need reassurance that choice is yours, Nothing here demands response. Truth does not need force to travel. It moves naturally toward those who are ready. And if you simply sit with it, that is enough too. What matters most is not what you do next, but how you do it. With less urgency, with more intention. With an inner agreement that you do not need to return to what God has already closed. You are allowed to outgrow chapters without resentment. You are allowed to walk forward without announcing your destination. You are allowed to trust that clarity will come when it is needed. This is not a full stop. It is a pause with direction. Stay attentive, stay honest, stay willing. The rest will unfold.